What would make one of the world's most aggressive technology investors sell every share it owned in NVIDIA, a position worth nearly $6 billion? It wasn't because the investor suddenly stopped believing in artificial intelligence. In fact, it may be the exact opposite. This investor sold NVIDIA to help fund an even larger bet on the company it believes could control the next stage of the AI revolution. And that decision raises an important question. Is NVIDIA still the best way to invest in artificial intelligence, or is the real opportunity moving somewhere else? Smart money rarely makes a multi-billion-dollar move without a reason. When a major investor exits one of the most successful technology stocks in the market, we need to look beyond the headline. We need to see where that money is going and what the investor believes will happen next. In this case, the investor was SoftBank. SoftBank sold approximately 32 million NVIDIA shares in October 2025, generating about $5.8 billion. Now, it would be easy to interpret that sale as a warning that SoftBank had lost confidence in NVIDIA. But according to the company, this was not necessarily a bet against NVIDIA. SoftBank needed enormous amounts of money to finance a much broader artificial intelligence strategy. NVIDIA happened to be one of its most valuable and liquid investments. It was a capital allocation decision. That distinction matters. NVIDIA remains one of the most important companies in the artificial intelligence industry. Its graphics processors power many of the data centers used to train and operate advanced AI systems. But NVIDIA's incredible success also creates a challenge. As a company becomes larger, investors expect more from it. Strong revenue growth may no longer be enough. NVIDIA must continue producing exceptional results while facing increasing competition, massive customer expectations, and growing pressure to justify its valuation. SoftBank appears to believe that an even greater opportunity may exist beyond the chips themselves. Think of NVIDIA as a company selling the engines of the AI revolution. Those engines are incredibly valuable, but the businesses building the cars, transportation networks, and services around those engines could eventually capture even more of the total economic opportunity. That is where SoftBank is placing its next major bet. The opportunity involves AI platforms that could change how people work, search for information, communicate, create content, and operate businesses. We are not simply talking about chatbots that answer basic questions. Advanced AI systems could analyze financial records, write software, manage customer service, create marketing campaigns, assist medical professionals, and complete complicated business processes with limited human supervision. Companies may eventually use customized AI agents in the same way they currently use software applications or human assistants. That could create several enormous sources of revenue, including consumer subscriptions, enterprise software, developer tools, automated agents, and the infrastructure required to operate all of these systems. SoftBank is also involved in Stargate, a massive artificial intelligence infrastructure initiative announced with plans to invest as much as $500 billion over 4 years. The goal is to build the data centers and computing capacity required to support increasingly powerful AI models. But the company at the center of SoftBank's strategy is not NVIDIA. It is OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT. SoftBank had already invested approximately $34.6 billion in OpenAI before announcing plans for another $30 billion in follow-on investments during 2026. OpenAI's March 2026 funding round attracted approximately $122 billion in committed capital and valued the company at roughly $852 billion after the investment. Those are extraordinary numbers. SoftBank is betting that OpenAI could become much more than the creator of a popular chatbot. It could become a foundational platform used by individuals, developers, corporations, and governments around the world. In that scenario, OpenAI would generate value from consumer products, enterprise services, software development tools, AI agents, and potentially the infrastructure supporting the entire ecosystem. That is the game-changing opportunity SoftBank is pursuing. But there is an important reality that many headlines leave out. OpenAI remains a privately held company. Most individual investors cannot purchase its shares through a normal brokerage account. It is also an extremely risky investment. Operating advanced AI systems requires an enormous amount of computing power, energy, and capital. OpenAI faces competition from companies such as Google, Anthropic, Meta, and other well-funded technology firms. AI models may also become cheaper and more widely available, making it harder for any single company to maintain a lasting advantage. And an $852 billion valuation means investors are already expecting extraordinary future growth. SoftBank is not buying an overlooked company at a bargain price. It is making a massive, concentrated bet that OpenAI will become one of the most important companies in the global economy. There is also an interesting twist to this story. NVIDIA later committed billions of dollars to OpenAI's latest funding round, so this may not actually be a battle between NVIDIA and OpenAI. SoftBank sold NVIDIA shares to fund its OpenAI strategy, while NVIDIA itself invested in the same expanding AI ecosystem. One company provides much of the computing power. The other is attempting to turn that power into products and services used throughout everyday life. SoftBank's move is significant because it reveals where one of the world's boldest technology investors believes the next stage of value may be created. NVIDIA helped power the first stage of the AI boom. SoftBank is betting that OpenAI, AI agents, and massive data center infrastructure could define the next one. Was selling NVIDIA to invest more heavily in OpenAI a brilliant strategic move, or a multi-billion-dollar gamble at the top of the AI market? Tell me what you think in the comments. And subscribe for more breakdowns of where the smart money is moving, what major investors are buying, and which opportunities could shape the future. This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only and should not be considered personal financial advice.